Get that sauce.
Good evening, all, and welcome to the zoo. The minions with me this evening are Tyr
What up?
and Adam.
Hello.
And as it is once again a Friday, but not the first Friday of the month, I am the keeper for this evening, Sanguine. How are both of you doing tonight?
I'm good.
That's good to hear. Adam?
I'm just happy it's Friday, to be honest.
Thank God it's Friday.
Yeah.
Somebody at least.
Fair
TJ.
enough. Normally this would be my last day of my weekend, but I actually have tomorrow off because I have to go do taxes.
Ha!
And I
You waited
decided,
this long to do it?
I needed to get documentation that was late in coming.
Makes sense.
So, better to wait a little bit and do it later than I had ideally wanted than to go with incomplete documentation and then
Risk of audit.
get fucked over due to that.
Makes sense. I usually do my taxes the February, end of January, into early February.
Yeah, I tend to do mine in March and April just to make sure that I have everything that I need.
I believe sacrificing to the tax god. The earlier you get it done, the better you. The sooner it is, the better it is. There are some fickle beasts.
Yeah, it's nice once it's over, but like I said, it's better to make sure that you have all the documents that you need in hand before you go. So for me, it tends to be that March or April. That way I have enough time to make sure that I have all the documents that I need.
Yeah. Hopefully one day we will stop having to pay tribute to this monster.
Yeah.
Well, we'll sadly, most likely, always need to pay tribute to the monster. The matter is how much, and will it be every fucking thing that you earn, or will it be eventually, hey, you made this as tips and overtime? That's yours.
Again, I would rather a flat tax of 10% and be done with it.
Yeah, especially since it. So this is something that keeps on driving me crazy every time people bring it up, because the people that bring it up clearly don't know what the fuck they're talking about. You've naturally heard in the 1950s, the top tax bracket was 95% of income, right?
Yes.
Do you know what the effective income tax for the people that were supposed to be getting this 95% was?
No.
So, first of all, do you know what an effective income tax is?
Nope. I are stupid.
So, effective income tax means the amount that you actually pay. So you have
Yo,
the
bastard. Hey, Rodden.
listed tax rate, which is your upper end. And then after all of your deductions and shit like that, you get your effective income tax. So in 1950s, the effective income tax for the 1% was 21%.
Okay.
So 95% was what it listed. The actual amount paid, on average, 21%. Because there was a shit ton of tax deductions.
All right.
Do you know what the effective income tax of the 1% is right now?
No.
26%.
Okay.
So people that are going, well, in the 1950s, we knew how to tax the rich. They get taxed 5% more now than they did then.
This is my thing about taxes. I don't look. Technically, if I have, I use tens and hundreds because they're so much easier.
Yep.
If I have $10, I'm only giving you $1. If I have $100, I'm only giving you 10. If I have 1,000, I'm only giving you 100. If I have 10,000, only giving you 10,000. 1,000. Sorry. It's the same amount. The more I have, the more I give. But it's the same rate for everybody. We're taxing everybody the exact same, and that's why it should be a flat tax. That way, it shouldn't be the rich pay more. Well, they already are paying fucking more. If you have
By
$1 million,
nature of it being a flat tax, yeah.
yeah, if you have $1 million versus the 10, you're paying upwards to what 100,000, if I'm not mistaken. So again, you are paying more than someone that's making 10,000 a year. You know,
Yep.
This whole eat the rich mentality is the communists. Oh well, the rich aren't paying their fair share. Fuck you, they are.
Hey, speaking of eating the rich,
I don't want to
did
eat the
you
rich.
did you have to eat your hat that has gotten so bad? What happened to your hat?
What? My head. Oh,
Yeah,
my.
your top hat.
Oh no. See. Oh, sorry. See, I'm in my. I was cosplaying. An African. Sorry. Let me change my hat.
Whoa,
You know.
dude! I don't think you're allowed to cosplay an African, dude. Are you serious? Whoa!
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Wait a minute. That's not. Oh, hold on. That's not the right one. I'm a lord, sir, and I need my monocle. Thank you. Thank you. Yo, JB, I'm a lord, sir, and I need my monocle.
Nice.
Yeah. Yes. Ryan says I'm tired of the dumbass line. If they paid their fair share. Yes. If they. Yes. It isn't that they're not paying their fair share. They have access to loopholes and subsidies and subsidies and shit like that. But even then, they're still paying fucking way more than I am.
Mm-hmm.
It's, but when you got $1 million, you don't see 100,000 being taken because again, you still got a fucking $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have only $10,000, you can clearly see 1,000 being taken. Mm.
And this is the thing that drives me crazy when it comes to people talking about the tax cuts that happened under the first admin,
Mm-hmm.
where it was tax cuts at every level, from top to bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And then they went, well, these tax cuts mainly benefit the rich. Do you know how they did that calculation?
How?
They took the dollar amount saved by each tax bracket
Mm-hmm.
and they put it over the total dollar amount saved by all tax brackets.
Really?
So when you do that calculation, yeah, it looks like the bulk of the tax savings were for the upper levels because when you're paying, when the top, the top 10% is paying more than the bottom 50% in taxes.
Mm-hmm.
When you have that, it doesn't take much of a percentage saving for you to have a massive raw dollar saving.
It's sort of like, do you remember the age old where they were comparing they get the wage gap? They were comparing CEOs to baristas,
Mm-hmm.
and it is literally comparing apples to fucking llama beans.
Yeah, in order to get the original wage gap stat, they ignored time in the position. They ignored full time versus part time. And they ignored what type of position.
Hold on. Are you telling me that the people who provide us with the valuable stats on how things are running in our society, that they might use corrupted numbers or skewed, so to say, uh, to provide an outcome that would be beneficial to themselves?
I'm not saying that, Adam. How dare you put words into my mouth and make me seem like I'm denying our feminist overlords their due? Forgive me, forgive us, feminist overlords. Do not nuke us from orbit with your orbital death laser.
Well, yesterday I brought up the new results that were found out from Adam. Do you remember that research study about the time of the Floyd riots where a medical university came out and they said, after reviewing data from Florida NICU hospitals, so the NICU wards, the infant wards,
Yeah.
they found out that if a black mother had a black doctor during their pregnancy, that massively reduced the
She had a black baby.
death rate of black infants. Do you remember that study?
Hold on. There was a study that combination reduced the death.
There was a study that said if a black woman had a black doctor, the black infant would have a much lower chance of death within the first year than if she had a white doctor.
Um, you know, I subscribe to Game Informer. I don't think I read any studies on that. No.
Okay, well, it was a study that was massively publicized, again, during the time of the Floyd riots. And then 2 years later, so that was in 2020, 2 years later, another scientist had requested the data set from the first paper, as well as an additional bit of data that was used in pretty much every infant fatality study, which is infant birth weight. After controlling for infant birth weight, again, effectively the control every infant mortality study uses, the effect for black doctors with black mothers disappeared.
No.
Oh no. Say it ain't so. I don't believe you. Why are you telling me these lies, Sanguine?
Weirdly,
What?
after doing that analysis and realizing that it disappeared for black infants, they noticed that it appeared in another group. It appeared when a white mother had a black doctor. The death rate was increased by 25%.
Whoa.
The scientists that did this study had also, though, requested additional data on the rate at which black doctors and white doctors had been advising prenatal care. Turned out that a number of black doctors were advising prenatal care at a much lower level than white doctors were. That effect wasn't the black doctors were killing white babies. That effect was prenatal care helps keep a baby alive after the birth. If you make sure that the mother's been eating right, that she's been doing everything that she's supposed to before giving birth, turns out that results in a healthier baby. So they published, not only did they find that the initial study was in error because they had overlooked including this extremely common control, but when you include that extremely common control, another trend arose, but that trend is also explainable by something that isn't just racism. It's explainable by what we need to do is we need to get it so that black doctors are advising prenatal care at the same rate that white doctors are. So, that happened in, again, 2022. There was a recent thing that happened, though, because after that paper came out, a bunch of other people went, that's really weird that they removed one of the most basic controls that you would use for this type of study. Turns out the study was done with state funding.
Oh, no.
Which meant that the study was open to FOIA requests. So, a group of people that were going, this is really strange that they didn't account for this thing that every study in this field controls for. They FOIA requested all the communications that were available during the study. So, the FOIA request came out towards the end of last year, beginning of this year. Do you know what the FOIA request showed?
Collusion. Because I already heard it.
Yep, they purposefully didn't do that control. Because when they started to use that control, they realized not only did the effect that they were trying to show, that being white doctors increase the death of black infants, but it showed the increase in white infants, and they didn't want to report on that. Even though, again, the scientist that was able to first determine that there was that inverse in the 2022 paper was able to go, yeah, all you did was you then request for how often they referred patients to prenatal care. And turns out this entirely disappears when you account for prenatal care or no prenatal care. So they knowingly made their study worse because they were worried that if they did the analysis properly, it would show the opposite of what they intended their study to show.
It's fucking insane, my friend.
Yep. And again, that just came out this year.
It is.
So not only was the initial paper, which was, now we know, functionally designed to stoke racial animus, because it was meant to make black mothers think that white doctors were killing their infants. But it was also done to hide data that there is something that needs to be done in order to improve the quality of care for all patients. Which is absolutely infuriating.
Again, all this shit doesn't help humanity. It just makes shit fucking worse. It makes everyone pissed off at each other, and it makes shit worse. And now, assholes are going to use shit like this to just be dicks. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of everybody, honestly.
Oh, the paper that was originally used, or the original paper that has come out to be insanely flawed and knowingly insanely flawed,
Mhm.
was also used by a Supreme Court justice to argue in favor of racial discrimination
Okay.
in job hiring. Because it was used by Ketanji Brown Jackson in defense of diversity hires.
She is a DEI hire, isn't she?
She's the diversity hire to the Supreme Court,
I
where
know.
just filling everyone else in,
Oh, okay.
in case anyone has forgotten. Where when asked why she was recommended to the Supreme Court, the reason was, well, we're well past due for black female Supreme Court justice.
That, of course, that's the answer.
Yeah.
Just because we're past due for one doesn't mean we need one.
Mm-hmm.
And there are many qualified people that should be given the chance to be Supreme Court justices.
Mm-hmm.
That and Biden himself made her a fucking martyr, a target.
Yep.
He made her the poster. All he had to fucking say, didn't say anything. Like, I will pick a Supreme Court justice based on the criteria I deem fit. And him coming out saying, "Oh, I'm going to pick a black female," no matter if she's qualified or fucking not, instantly turned her into this diversity hire.
Mm-hmm.
And
Like, I think it was the commandant of the National Guard
mm-hmm.
was in a similar position.
Yep. Now she got this eternal albatross across her neck because she is a fucking DEI hire.
Oh, she already got booted once the new admin came in,
Mm-hmm.
the commandant of the National Guard, because
Mhm.
again, when asked why he named her as the commandant of the National Guard, the response was that we were well past due for a female commandant.
I don't think genitals should define anything. I don't think sexuality should look at every DEI hire in the Biden admin. Fucking Sam, the Secretary of Nuclear, the Assistant Secretary of Nuclear Energy or Nuclear Waste or whatever the fuck he was.
Oh, the bag thief tranny?
No, he wasn't a bag thief tranny. He was a cross-dresser. There's the difference.
Thought that one was the one that was stealing bags and was...
Yeah, he was stealing bags. He wasn't. He would wear them, but I don't think he was gay or anything. I just thought he was a cross-dresser.
I could have sworn that he was trans.
No, he I don't think it was trans. I just think he was a day down with a weird fucking fetish.
Let me check.
Or maybe I'm wrong. I haven't been. It has not been. It hasn't been unknown that I could be wrong.
Yep, so non-binary, which is grouped under trans for some reason, ex-Biden nuclear official who stole luggage.
But again, he's another one of the DEI hires of the Biden administration.
And his name was Sam Brinton.
Sam Brinton. I must have been thinking about the crypto guy with Sam Bankman.
Yeah, Sam Bankman. Because that's the other one that also turned out to be a complete shit show.
I mean, look at butt gauge, booty edge, boot gauge.
Booty
This
judge.
this man took 6 weeks off, just gets his to his kid, and he just adopted them. I'm guessing, and he's going to take time off. And then what the fuck did he do?
Mm-hmm.
Like, honestly, what did he do in his time in office? Everything that happened, oh, it was Trump's fault.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sir, you are fucking useless.
Yeah, and one of the few things that did happen during his tenure was a massive negative, because during his time as the Secretary of Transport, that was when the air traffic controllers were, for the very first time in history, allowed to be blind.
Yeah. Of fucking course. Like, how do you let that shit happen?
Mm-hmm. How do you encourage the standards to drop so fucking low that being blind isn't sufficient in order to preclude you from being an air traffic controller? It's absolutely ridiculous.
It is absolutely ridiculous, and it's utterly ridiculous, and it's stupid as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you even? I don't know. There are no words, my friend. There are no words.
Mm-hmm.
And remember the shit that the
Also,
derailment.
JB, I am serious, and don't call me Shirley. And yes, I remember the train derailment, where they ordered for everything to be burned before doing the most important fucking step of a burn like that, which is, let's get a complete list of
Every fucking thing that was there.
that is on this train, because those lists exist. And then, after getting that list, have our scientists look over what is the target temperature for a complete burn. Also, what are the byproducts of a complete burn? And only after ensuring that you can get a complete burn and the byproducts of a complete burn aren't going to be nasty as shit do you burn it.
Yes. Boot Edge was a fuck up all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
And he's another he is a clear DEI hire.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't tell me that someone honestly thought Boot Edge would be fucking good for anything.
He was the one who thought it was racist that a bridge that was too low for buses had a no buses sign on it.
Wasn't he the one that also said, like, city planning was somehow racist?
Oh, that was his example of city planning being racist.
Yeah.
It was, there's a bridge that is too short for buses. Not, it might be, no, it is definitely too short for buses that had a sign saying no buses under bridge. Because buses cannot fucking fit under that bridge. But because that would have been the most direct route to bus people from a minority section of the city to a beach, he said that that was racism. That there's a bridge that predated the minority section of the city that was too short for buses. Clear sign of racism.
Of fucking course. Racism is the eternal albatross of it is the everlasting shuttlecock of everything. It is the god of the gaps for every reason why something is something. It is fucking insulting. Everything is racist. Everything is homophobic. Everything is this. Fuck you. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the ism of the gaps.
I like that. The ism of the gaps.
Because doesn't matter what they're trying to say is the issue. It is always you have to demonstrate that it isn't the solution, rather than them demonstrating that it is.
Mm-hmm. You have to prove that it. You have to prove the claim isn't, rather than they have to prove the claim is.
Yep.
And even if you do have proof, oh well, historic biases from 993 BC and magical apartheid oppression from ancestors that no one's ever fucking met or known is the reason.
Mm-hmm.
No time. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It is. It is what it is, and it's fucking. That shit chaps my ass.
Mm-hmm. And it just happens with everything. You have to prove that it's something else. Oh, sure. You can do that, Adam. You have to prove that it's something else is responsible for the wage gap. And if you can demonstrate that, well, these are different jobs, then they just come back with, oh, but the only reason those are female jobs is because of sexism. And when you go, no,
they're just like them.
These are jobs that are lower skilled than these other jobs, but they're also higher privileged jobs. Because when you look at how much a job gets paid, it typically is the fewer number of people that can work the job and the fewer number of people that are willing to work the job, the higher the price that it takes in order to get people to do the job. So you see sewage workers get paid a fuck ton more than most people think. And Adam, I said you can share if you want.
No, I got you, but I was gonna say, yeah, no, sewage workers get paid a lot, and that's one of those. It's not that people don't want to work the jobs; it's they don't want to work them for shit pay.
I mean, it's some okay. I will admit there are some jobs that are less appealing that are very important. Garbage man. I'm pretty sure there aren't a lot of women clamoring to be garbage men.
And that's what I was saying, that there's every job has a price tag.
Mm-hmm.
There's you can take a job and go up to 400 people. And there's a price tag for each person in order to get them interested in doing that job. If you can get enough people willing to do the job at a low price, that's what the price of the job is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't, it's going to go up, and then it's going to go up until you can get enough people. That's how this works. That's why sewage workers get paid what they do. That's why garbage men get paid what they do. Because it's a job that most people need to be paid a fairly high wage in order to go, yeah, sure, I'll go crawling through a sewage line to bust a fatberg.
I fucking hate fatbergs. Just sounds nasty.
That takes a decent amount of pay in order to get people willing to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas EMS is a really good example. EMS is a somewhat high prestige job because there's a lot of people that when they're younger go, I want to work on an ambulance. Because it seems like a cool job from the outside. Because a lot of people want to work it for the prestige side of the job, it gets paid like shit.
Mm-hmm.
When I was an EMT, I was making $11.10 to $11.50 an hour. And then I got a pay raise to $13.10.
Mm. Okay.
But that's shit compared to jobs that require similar levels of skill.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's because there's people that want to do the job due to the prestige. Doctors are somewhat held down by the prestige side of things. Everyone wants to be a doctor. Well, not everyone, but a damn large share of people go at some point in their life, I want to be a doctor. So, doctors are held down by prestige, but then they also get a massive boost due to the amount of training needed.
Mm-hmm.
So, even though there's a lot of people that want to work the job, there's not a lot of people that can work the job.
Because the barrier to entry.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the difference between it's the difference between, say, a McDonald's worker and a doctor. There's so fucking low skill. Like flipping burgers is not a high skilled job. Like you can teach anybody to
well,
make.
It can be as high skill or as low skill as you decide it to be.
Because I'm pretty sure a fast food worker isn't that high skilled.
But think about it. How many really good burger places are there?
I'm talking about like a McDonald's.
I know you're talking about a McDonald's. I'm saying, though, that burger flipping is something that it is as high skill or as low skill as people want it to be. Because there are high skill burger flippers and then there's low skill burger flippers.
I'm more like I said, I'm more referring to the McDonald's worker. The lowest skill of the lowest skill, like somebody fresh off the boat. You know, the job really was designed for a teenager to get his feet wet.
Yep.
In the working world, like that's what that job is. It is not.
This is another thing that also drives me crazy when people start talking about, well, minimum wage hasn't changed. Well, first off,
yeah, it has.
If you're talking federal minimum wage, it hasn't really changed. But the thing is, almost no one makes federal minimum wage. So when you look at people that make at or below minimum wage, last I looked at it, you were looking at 1.1 to 1.3% of the population. The vast majority of which are between 16 and 18.
All right, so I worked I worked this job at this wireless company,
Mm-hmm.
wireless warehouse packaging wireless products, and I went from making about $8 an hour, $8.50 an hour to about $9.50, almost 10. And again, this was 2000 and I want to say 2006, 05 to '06, around that time frame. And again, I went from working like ass, to making like 9.50 for working 8 hour shifts, and I got night diff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the work itself isn't that technical. Like it did not require high skill. It you were literally putting product in packaging and
Mm-hmm.
sealing it. You a 5-year-old with sufficient focus could do the work.
Oh yeah, there's
Like
a lot of
honestly,
jobs like that.
honestly, if we all we did was put the fucking well, I'll say a fucking a charger in the blister, put the little tab that goes in the blister to say, oh, this is charger X for charger Y,
Mm-hmm.
and seal it up, and then put it in a box to be shipped somewhere else. It is not fucking technical.
Yep, and there's
Now,
a lot of jobs like that.
yeah,
And even what you were just saying had the different shifts even need to be paid different things because the number of people that want to work night shift, much smaller population than the
Yes.
number of people that want to work day shift.
But
yes.
think about it. The people who want to work that night shift, they're dedicated.
Oh God, what is that?
A good chunk of the
Jesus
time,
Christ,
yeah.
what is that? It's adorable.
But you're competing for a much smaller population for your job positions.
Mm-hmm.
So your job positions require an increased
Okay, fair
compensation
enough.
in order to get enough people that are willing to work the job.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be huge. The lowest shift diff that I've ever seen was when I was a correction officer.
Wow.
I had a 45% shift diff. Or no, sorry, 45 cent shift diff.
Not bad.
45 cent? I get a 15% shift diff currently, which is like 3 times 45 cents. 45
Again,
cents is almost nothing.
I for shift diff, I make about maybe an extra $2 an hour,
Mm-hmm.
if that. And so it average out to an extra 20, 30 maybe on my check.
Mm-hmm.
Because also get Sunday diff, which is another $4 added on.
Mm-hmm.
And I only the way my job works, night diff takes over from 6 to 6.
Mm-hmm.
So any hours worked within that 6 hour time frame, I mean that time frame from 6 to 6 is considered night diff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then Sunday diff is all day Sunday. So Sunday plus night diff. So I'm calculating it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Gee, thank you, Sanguine, for admitting that I'm calculating it wrong. But yes, I'm calculating wrong. Sunday diff is a little bit more because it's all day Sunday, so it should be at least another.
And yeah, exactly, Ron. That's what I was getting at. That it's something that can be a skill, but it is as skilled as the position requires. So when you're working at a McDonald's and they tell you that for their French fries, you drop it into an oil that is this specific temperature, and then you hit this button, which is a timer,
Mm-hmm.
the second that it hits the oil, and then The moment that that timer goes off, it automatically lifts the basket. Then you go over, you shake the basket a little bit more, you move it over, you toss in some salt. That is really low skill. Whereas,
Versus having to chop julienne
Oh,
fries
dude.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
well,
if you're working in a restaurant, go ahead.
I was gonna say, oh shit, I was gonna say, some restaurants have those like potato presses where you just
Yep.
put the potato there and you smash it down. You get those nice thick cut steak fries.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, dog, I didn't. It's disappointing. Oh
But the
shit.
person paid to do that job tends not to be paid very much. Whereas the person paid to actually fry the fries after the treatment
Mm-hmm.
and to season the fries with more than just salt, they tend to make a decent amount. Not an astronomical amount, but a decent amount, depending on the scale of the place. Because there, it isn't just you put the fries in the basket, you put the basket in the machine, you press this button, it immediately starts a timer.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the alarm goes off, you go grab the fries out. That requires almost no skill.
No.
Whereas getting the oil up to the right temperature, knowing what temperature you need for the first fry, and then doing your tamp off, your second fry after getting your oil up to that temperature, tamp off, and then season properly, that requires some skill. So, frying fries can be either extremely low to no skill or fairly high skill.
Okay.
And that's what I was getting at. That you have examples of the same thing being done in two different ways. And one way is a low or no skill, and one way is a very high skill. Because no one's going to say that a McDonald's burger flipper is the same as a chef in a really, really nice burger place.
Well, I
It's
mean,
not the same as a restaurateur chef. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
it's kind of different, right? I
No,
mean,
it's an apple to apple job comparison.
no, because somebody at fast food, you can't tell. There's some fast food chains. I don't know. I'm not gonna specify which ones, but a lot of them are, they already get their patty and they're just kind of heating it up.
Yep.
Um, but then you can't put that against something like Steak and Shake where they're actually, making a burger right there.
Which is what
Uh,
I'm saying. It goes by different degrees. So you have
Degrees of
McDonald's.
heats on the fryer.
You have McDonald's, which I'm pretty sure they get their burger patties come in frozen pre-formed. Then you have something like Steak and Shake, where they don't come in pre-formed. They're forming them. They're slapping them down, getting the nice crust, but they still have it down to effectively a timer system where you do this and then you wait exactly this amount of time and then you flip it and then you wait exactly this amount of time and it comes off. And then you have that going all the way up at incremental degrees where it becomes a little bit more work and then a little bit more work and then a little bit more work, where each step up, to compare it to the step below, would be somewhat insulting.
Okay.
Saying that the person manning the grill at Steak and Shake is the same skill level as a McDonald's burger flipper. That's insulting to the person working at Steak and Shake. They actually do some shit.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying, that you can have it be as low skill or as high skill as
Dude,
you
uh,
want.
I'm sure. I'm sure the person that did that cooks the burgers at that like uh rock and roll burger joint.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
What
you
was it
mean
called?
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
the island one that we went to?
No, the one that we went to when you came out and hung out with us, with Eve and
Oh, that one. Okay. Yeah. I'm
shit, I
trying
can't remember it.
trying to remember which one we hit for that one, but yeah, that place had a
But those
higher.
are like gourmet burger type stuff.
Yeah, and that's what
You
I
know?
was getting at. That it is as low skill or as high skill as the job entails. So you have low skill jobs that are flipping burgers. You have high skill jobs that, if you're being overly reductive, you could surmise as flipping burgers.
Yeah, fucking burger.
So if you're dealing with a high skill burger place that has different meats that can be in the burger, different burger grinds that they can do, and they have different cook times, they have different thickness, they have all these different variables, it becomes progressively higher and higher scale as you go and add each variable. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as the variable isn't an onion, and then you add that into the
Oh
burger.
Lord.
You know what? Look, I'm
Oh no,
just
that's a good variable to add into the burger.
look. I'm just. Uh,
Look. My heart goes out to you. You will never know the joy of a good, nice onion.
You can't even enjoy White Castle hamburgers.
I know. What are you? Some sort of monster?
ba 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 ba.
I look. Onions are one of the nature's greatest vegetable.
I thought they were a fruit.
They're not a fruit. They're a vegetable.
Oh.
They don't contain a seed.
Tomatoes are fruits, but it doesn't go on a fruit salad. Cucumbers are fruits. Don't go on fruit salad. Green peppers are technically fruits.
Well, technically, cucumber salad is a fruit salad. It's just not a mixed fruit salad.
All right, fine. Okay, fine. Well, technically, if you have tomatoes,
And
green peppers, and
tomatoes go in salsa, which is also kind of a fruit salad. It's just a very different fruit salad.
huh. Huh. Oh, you're right. Now think about it. Oh
Yep.
Lord. But like I said, you will never know the joy of an onion, and I'll weep for you.
That's fine. I
No,
mean, that means more like if we ordered a blooming onion, that means more blooming onion for you.
Hmm.
it, but I can't share it with my friends. You know, if I have a blooming onion, I want to share it with others.
He's a fat bastard. He's not that much of a fat bastard that is going, ooh, more for me.
All right, I'll put it to you like this. Let me explain it to you like this, Adam. So I used back in my youth, I used to get a package of devil squares because I love devil squares, and I would give two to my best friend. So usually when I go there, like two packages of them to my friend. And I would say I ate most, not all.
Hmm.
So I'd give him two, and I'd have three because it usually come in packages of five. Uh, so that'd be six cakes, and he gets four cakes, and I can always say, "Hey, I ate most, not all of them."
Hmm.
You know, I'm not a fat bastard. I'm not a greedy bastard. I like sharing with my friends. It gives me a plausible deniability. But it's a shame, Adam. It's a shame.
Yeah, the way that job prices work, it's always how many people can do the job, how many people are willing to do the job. And if there aren't enough people willing to do the job, then you increase price that you're paying. You increase the wage until you have enough people that are willing to do the job at the level that you want them to do the job.
See, that's another thing I realize that's an issue. People don't understand basic economy.
Mm-hmm.
And by what I mean by basic economy is, the concept of supply, demand, and supply, demand, and we call it, especially how it relates to everything else,
Mm-hmm.
including jobs, technical work. You need somebody that could do the technical work versus the demand for that technical work. Like security guards will always be in demand.
Mm-hmm.
That is one job that will always be in demand. Everybody wants something protected, like hands down, point blank. You want your shit protected.
Do they
Always,
have a sack of gold that
you
need
know,
protected?
but it'll always be in demand.
Yep.
That is a job that has massive amount of security, but it also has more technical issues with it. Like you said, oh well, you can be a security guard, you can guard anything, but if you really want the high paying job, you got to have a
You have
firearm.
to be an armed security guard.
Yeah, you got to be armed security, so you got to have firearm, and then you got to be licensed, to carry that firearm, and then you got to be up to date with current regulations and whatnot, and the training courses and whatnot. You there, there's so much that goes on with it that you know it's a high demand, a high barrier entry. But once you're in, you have like this world's your fucking oyster.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Oh, dude, oysters.
They're
yeah,
absolutely delicious, especially charbroiled.
Yo.
I prefer mine raw.
Have you had charbroiled oysters?
No, I haven't, but I prefer mine raw.
You don't know if you prefer it until you've had it.
That's fair enough. I've never had it, but from what I've had,
So if you ever get a chance to go down to Nolans, there's a
no, I've never
place.
gone down in all this.
There's a place that
Mhm.
is called Drago's.
Okay.
There's two main branches of Drago's currently.
Mm-hmm.
There's the Nolans City Dragos, which is, I think it's a Hilton down near the French Quarter that
Okay.
has a Dragos in the first floor. That one isn't bad, but it isn't the best one. The best one is you go to the original Dragos, which is out in Metairie. And oh, good God, the food at Dragos. So fucking good.
I have a preemptive ban on New Orleans on the grounds that it's fucking swamp,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't do swamps.
You live just north of DC.
No,
Yo.
and you see why I don't fucking do swamps. I live just north of DC.
Yeah, Nolans is a more honest swamp.
Well, you're right.
It's a
Honestly,
more honest swamp with better food.
Shit.
if I
Talking
want
about
New
swamp.
Orleans food, I have this coworker named Signora who is from Louisiana, and if I'll get her to make all my food.
Shit.
Yeah, but she doesn't know how to make Drago's charbroiled oysters.
You don't know what she knows how to make. She is a master chef.
No, because Drago's charbroiled oysters, the topping is secret, unfortunately.
Ah, makes sense.
Ah, I at least got one.
But it is so fucking good.
All right, I will
Hey, Angela.
concede it. Go ahead.
Because, yeah, it has this topping that is like a herbed garlic butter with this
Mhm,
breadcrumb that it kind of tastes like it has cheese in it, but they said that there's no cheese in the topping.
mhm,
And it gets toasted and kind of melty on top of the oyster. The oyster has this lovely smokiness from the charbroiling,
mhm,
and it's served with this loaf of crusty bread. So what you do is you scoop out the oyster with a little bit of bread. You nibble on the bread as you scoop it out. Absolutely delicious. But then there's the juice that is trapped in the shell at the bottom. So you just mop out the shells with a little bit of bread. Oh, good God, it's delicious.
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm.
Damn, yeah, it sounds delicious.
Oh, yeah. It is absolutely amazing. And yeah, Five Guys isn't one of the places that freezes. Like I said, McDonald's freezes. Burger King, I think, freezes now. I could be wrong on that. Wendy's was big on never freezing.
Wendy's is loud. Wendy's froze. I used to work at a Wendy's. Their
So you're
burgers are
telling me
frozen.
they're fresh, never frozen is a lie?
Yes.
Whoa! I thought they had square burgers.
Because they
Ready to
don't
go.
cut any corners.
But yes, they all that shit was frozen. It wasn't as fresh as they made it out to be.
That's a shame. Though they are one of the better fast food burger joints.
I haven't been to a Wendy's in 1,000 years. I haven't been to
Mainly
any
because they
in
have the
1,000.
Baconator, and if you hate your heart, you get Baconators.
I had a lot
You
of things.
hate
My
your
heart isn't one of them.
How many? How okay? Do they like just shove it with bacon?
So Baconator is a you can get up to a triple patty Baconator, and for every patty of Baconator, I think you get 3 to 4 strips of bacon.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit!
So when you get a double patty Baconator, you get like 6 to 8 strips of bacon. When you get a triple patty, you get 9 to 12 strips.
Oh,
And between every single patty is cheese.
Hmm.
So it is fantastic. It will absolutely be murder for your heart, but it is delicious.
now is that
Yes.
worse than the? What was it with the chicken as the bread?
Oh, the double down.
Yeah.
That sounds tasty too.
The double down sounds tasty. The double down is worse for your heart because it's fried chicken.
As a black man, I'm predisposed to like a fried chicken. I think we've
Yep.
evolved. See, now, Sam, I have a theory. I want you to hear me out now. Don't judge me too quickly. I think I've come to understand why a lot of black people are violent. Is because of lack of fried chicken.
Just throw fried chicken into every police standoff and things will work out better. Is that your
I,
theory?
I believe it would. Like, think about. Again. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Don't judge me too quickly. Don't judge me too quickly. Okay, I'm ready.
When
Now,
you
if
hear the as a police negotiator, man. Okay, before we go any further, Popeyes or KFC?
Whoa.
oh,
Okay.
oh,
Hold on.
KFC, oh shit! All right, maybe we can talk. It's like you know how you say you're not yourself when you're hungry. Well, black people aren't calm when they're hungry.
Well, hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Because now we're talking spices,
Yep.
right?
11 herbs and spices.
11. Oh shit. Yeah, but what
Are you
about
going?
Cajun spices and
Are
voodoo
you
spices?
going for the Cajun flavor of Popeyes, or are you gonna go for the original recipe, extra crispy?
Again, you got see. That's why when you talk to when we negotiate with black people, you got to understand. Look, guys, we're gonna get you some fried chicken. We're gonna get you some watermelon. We're gonna get you some purple drink. Okay, come on now. Let's talk. We can eat. We can end the standoff right now, right here, with a nice hot meal. Y'all come with us. And I think a lot of police standoffs would end more peacefully. You walk up to a car. You smell weed. You hit them a piece of chicken. Think. All right. So now, how you doing? I'm good. I'm good.
Nice.
I know.
But
I'm letting my racist show.
yeah,
I don't know.
Wendy's burgers, they tend to be better to my mind than McDonald's and Burger King.
Mm-hmm.
Though if I'm going for any standard fast food burger chain in
Mm-hmm.
any area that I know of currently, Culver's wins.
Culver's.
I still need to try In and Out, and I still need to try Whataburger, but Culver's is my favorite thus far. Culver's
Um.
is a Midwest staple.
Uh, I,
Originating out of Wisconsin.
I'm not. I'm
Yep.
not on the west or in the mid.
So what they specialize in is what's known as a Butterburger.
Like I'm technically like the only time I ever had Bojangles is when I go to DC for my convention. I stopped going to that convention, so I can't get Bojangles.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not paying $8 to for $16 for a ride up and a ride down just for fucking chicken.
Yeah, from what I've heard, Whataburger's supposed to be really good, and I've heard
Mm-hmm.
In and Out is supposed to be really good. But thus far, my favorite that I've had is a Culver's Butterburger. So,
Okay.
in order to make a Butterburger, what you do is you fry up a burger on a grill like normal.
Mm-hmm.
Then you toast up your bread. The moment that your bread comes off and your burger's still piping hot, with the cheese on top, of course, you
Mm-hmm.
get about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of butter. You slam that onto the top bun, and then you immediately put the top bun on the burger.
Okay.
So that butter is melted by the residual heat of the burger and just melts down into the burger.
Ooh.
It is delicious.
One of these days I'll go.
Again, it's something that your heart will not like you for enjoying Culver's, but they are delicious.
Oh, dude, and Culver's has that custard stuff.
Yeah, they're concretes.
Yeah.
The fuck?
So they think a blizzard.
Miss. Damn.
Think a blizzard that's made with custard instead of normal ice cream.
I've never had custard.
So custard is a richer, more unctuous ice cream.
Again,
Or frozen
I've
custard is a richer, more unctuous ice cream. So
never had custard.
imagine a richer and more unctuous blizzard.
The fuck is unctuous? I'm black. I don't know all the words.
Hold on, he has to whip out a dictionary to figure out. Wait, hold on.
Unctuous is that
And
like
bunctious.
creamy, fatty taste.
I'm gonna need you to use
It's
it in a sentence.
fatty in a good way.
Who's Tony?
So, a really good steak that is or cooked up perfectly so that it has the right amount of marbling in it, and then it is cooked up beautifully so that fat starts to melt out a little bit, ends up being really unctuous
Okay.
because that fatty richness kind of coats the mouth as you eat it. So yeah.
I would have to try that one day.
Yeah. Concretes are delicious.
Um, yeah, I tried.
And they
for
can
the
do
first
malts.
time. Oh, malts are good too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do malt concretes. Oh, those are so fucking good.
I don't know if it was a concrete, but I tried a mint custard at Culver's the other day, and it was pretty good. You know,
Yeah, their custards are what's. If you get mix-ins to the custards, that's what they call a concrete.
Okay.
but it's the same thing as like a gelato or some shit like that. It's like, come on, dude. It's the same thing. Where you're going. It's flan. All right,
I've
just
never had
accept it.
flan.
Oh, well, I haven't either, but
Custard is a richer, fattier ice cream.
Okay. Well, I'll take your word for it. I'll be back, guys. I'm going to get me a drink, and the cat looks like she's going to claw my leg if I don't add water to her dish. So
that
I'm
that.
listening.
that sounds to me like he is going to check the toaster.
No, I'm going to check the toaster in addition to doing that, but she is still looking at me with the look of I'm going to murder you if you don't put water in this dish.
And yeah, Angela, that's what I've heard when it comes to In and Out. There's people that are absolutely fucking crazy about In and Out, but then I've also heard a fair number of people that their response to In and Out is, eh, they aren't bad, but I don't get why everyone's so crazy about them.
There was this. There was a fast food joint. I can't remember the name of it.
Is
I
he
have to go
talking
there.
from the bathroom?
I'm not talking back in time from my from in front of my doorway. And there was I forget the name of it. It's
Did
sitting.
you go shit outside?
No, I
Oh
didn't go
no!
shit out.
Hold on, is this another shit pants shitting tree?
Do you have a pant shitting tree by your house?
No, I don't have a shitting tree. I went
No.
to
We asked about a pant shitting tree because
the fucking pay
apparently
shitting tree.
those are different things. It is, from what we were told, it is the tree that you go shit your pants behind.
No, I did not have a pan shitting tree. I was just saying that. So in order to go down my steps, I had to walk across my. I had to come back to my study, and in order to go down my steps, I just went to the bathroom not too long ago. And I was saying there was a place in DC. I cannot remember the name of it that had really good burgers.
Mm-hmm.
They gave you a bag of fries, and they were seasoned fucking amazing. I can't remember. If you are looking up, it's about the DC Convention Center. These.
Yeah, I'm not sure what place that would be. I know
Uh,
down in Richmond, my favorite burger place down in Richmond area was a place by the name of Burger Bosch.
Burger Bosch.
It was spelled like Burger Bach, but it was a New Zealand place, and apparently they pronounced that as Bosch. And they had absolutely amazing lamb burgers.
Lamb burgers.
Yep. Burgers made with lamb meat. Absolutely delicious. With some interesting cheeses, some fantastic fries, good toppings.
I mean, speaking of which, we are coming up against the 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think you're going to be like? What's a forethought in terms of what you're going to be cooking up?
4th of July, I'm probably going to make steak.
Ooh.
Because I prefer steak rather than burgers. And it is delicious. Love steak. Especially dry brine a steak for a couple days.
Is that what you're gonna do?
Oh yeah, that's what I typically do when I'm making steak. I dry brine the steak.
You do type of Jurassic Park? Why, we found it in amber.
No, I don't amber and crust my steak. I just dry brine it. So sprinkle salt on a day or two before, and then leave it on a cooling rack in my refrigerator on top of a tray. Let the salt draw the moisture out, and then that newly made salt water gets drawn back into the steak, seasoning it throughout the entire thickness of the steak. Makes it so that the surface of the steak dries out a little bit, so it fries up better.
Mm.
Get a really nice crust on it. So what I do is I'll dry brine and then typically I'll sous vide it, and then I'll either hit it with a kitchen torch or really, really hot fry pan.
It's okay.
Oh, it is delicious.
Mm-hmm. Now let me look it up. The Washington Convention Center. See, but the mapping maps. All right.
Oh, shit.
And I love random Nick Cage movies. Clown. One of my favorites is still...
Oh, it is Five Guys. Huh.
Oh, it's just Five Guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, Five Guys is good.
Wait a minute. Let me make sure. Yep,
Expensive,
it's Five
but
Guys.
good.
Only time I get it is when I'm in DC.
Mm-hmm. You can get them more than just in DC, by the way.
I know, but the only time I get them is because like that's one of the only places to eat other than fucking Wawa's. And again, you're going to a convention. I'm kind of trying to save as much money for fucking random shit that I don't probably fucking need.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but try the convention stuff.
But yeah, one of my favorite random Nick Cage movies is still Willy's Wonderland.
Yep. Have I ever told you my fan theory for that is what that is?
I don't think you have.
My fan theory is that it's just him. It's just a Ghost Rider. He's on vacation and he refuses to use his powers.
See, my preferred theory is that that's just Nick Cage.
Playing the cage.
Yeah, it's just Nick Cage. It is... You know how Adam Sandler will film movies in order to go on vacation?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, only Nick Cage just makes candid movies.
Nice. No, it was Shake Shack. Was it Shake Shack? I don't think it was Shake Shack. Let me sure. Because again, Sephora's brewing. God damn it. See, this is what I hate. Because I know it's down the street from the Wawa's.
Oh yeah, salt crusted meats are delicious when you do them right, Angela.
Yeah, it's Five Guys because I don't go far enough and I never go past the yeah, because Nando's is down there and I've never gone that far past the Nando's.
I'm telling you, it's those. Once they know where they've reached their limits, they just coast. They know when they're done. Shit.
There's so many good places to eat everywhere where I've been.
Yeah.
I
But
still can't beat Tony. Who the fuck is Tony?
Your rival. Your nemesis.
Now, let me tell you a secret, Adam. Tony is you.
No.
You're Tony.
It can't be. That's
You
impossible.
search your feelings. You know it to be true.
No.
Me Fit Games, the sequel to Fight Club.
Yep. The first rule about Me Fit Games: you do not talk about Me Fit Games. The second
Yeah.
rule of Me Fit Games: you do not talk about Me Fit Games.
Mm-hmm.
The third rule is: if this is your first night, you have to play the Me Fit game.
Well, now you have to. You've already seen too much. Actually, everyone who's in the chat now, you have seen too much.
Now you all have to play the Me Fit games.
Bum, 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 bum. Welcome to the dark side.
Me Fit games. EA Sports. It's Me Fit games.
Oh shit.
But yes, one of these days I have to go down, take a day trip to Washington.
Like I said, you're going to the less honest swamp.
Yeah, but at least that swamp is, a few miles from home. I can just hop a train and go back.
True. Plus, it's probably a nice vacation getting away from the rats.
Leave the street puppies alone, okay? They're our national dog. They're our city dog, okay? Y'all have rat terriers. We have rats.
You have terrier rats.
Mm. Like, goddamn! Don't get angry at them. All right, those things are precious and scary and precious. How much is scary
And disease ridden.
and disease ridden? Excuse me. Ah, man.
But yeah, Willy's Wonderland is absolutely amazing. I love that fucking movie. It is so fucking weird. And then what's the one where Nick Cage's bowl gets blown off?
Ball gets
What?
blown off.
There's one where Nick Cage gets one of his testicles exploded because he's perving on the daughter of this evil mayor. And then he ends up losing most of his limbs. He has his arms replaced by chainsaws.
The fuck is that?
And then
Come on,
he's
Mitch.
fighting a like Western samurai
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
bodyguard.
I think I know what you're talking about. If I let me look at it and make sure it's the one I think it is.
Of the evil mayor. It's such a weird fucking movie. It's glorious.
I think you're talking about.
It's a movie.
I don't think it's a movie. I think it's a segment in a movie.
Oh,
Well, the specific scene is a segment in the movie, but I want to say it's like Mandy. Let me check.
No, in Mandy, it's him going to get his girlfriend back from an evil cult that's trying to sacrifice him.
Okay, so that's not the one.
I think you're talking about Fu Man, not Fu Man. Is it Fu Manchu?
the Fubin. What?
Prisoners of the Ghostland.
All right. All right.
Yeah,
There it is.
it's Prisoners of the Ghostland is the movie that I was thinking.
Okay.
Again, it is such a weird fucking movie. It's glorious.
Yeah, because I know Mandy is another one of the ones he like the cult snatched up his daughter, his girlfriend, and he's going back to get her. And I remember one that Angela really loved, Commander Zorinelli's Xylophone. She really loved that movie. She raved and ran it, and we watched that movie, and it wasn't that bad. All right, Angela, didn't you like Commander Zorinelli's Xylophone? That's what I said.
See, I'm of a mind that if we're going to remake movies, we should at least make them hilarious. Nick Cage is a starring actor in every fucking remake.
Yeah, it's just all a bunch of remakes, man.
Doesn't matter what the remake is. Snow White, Nick Cage is Snow White.
And no, and he's acting like zany Nick Cage, not subdued Nick Cage.
Yep.
I'd watch that. I'd watch the I'd have to show you this one because hold on. This I think you would like this one, Sanguine. Not that one. Let me go there. Let me find it. Hold on. Playlist. Midnight show shit. Let me see. Down at the bottom. Do. There it is. Hold on. Presenting share screen. All right.
Snow White starring Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes.
All right, people, listen the hell up. They call me Snow White, but don't ask me why. It sure ain't how I describe this scenario. And yeah, I know what you're thinking. This dress is way too frilly. But I didn't ask for any of this. 1 minute I'm polishing floors and dodging my stepmother's side eye, and the next, I'm on the run. How do you expect me to run in these high-heeled slippers? So there's this evil queen with a vanity problem. She wants my heart on a plate. They say she's the fairest of them all, but let me tell you something. She's also the scariest of them all.
Magic mirror on the wall. Who's the fairest of them all?
You've asked this before. Maybe go take a nap. Snow White is the fairest, my queen.
No cap.
No cap.
Now I'm holed up with 7 dwarves who pack more than just bad attitudes. And trust me.
Why are the CGI dwarves made by
White.
AI better
and we'll
than the
blast that
CGI
bitch to
dwarves
Kingdom
made
Come.
by people?
I don't
Bow to
know.
me, child,
I like how they have
or else see
dice.
your bones turn to cinders.
But I'm done hiding. That huntsman did me a solid. And now I'm ready to pay back that favor. It's time to storm the castle, crack that magic mirror, and show the evil queen once and for all exactly who she's fucking with. I had it with these motherfucking apples in this motherfucking forest. And if you think I'm some helpless little princess, well, you better guess again. 'Cause I'm Snow White, motherfucker. And I'm about to put a bullet in this bedtime story. Now pass me that apple. And while you're at it,
Every
maybe some
now and
combat
then,
boots, because I've had
the
enough of this
CGI.
Oh shit! I didn't see this one.
Jackson
Midnight.
Looked like
They say it's the
fucking,
moment that everything changes. If you'd have
Sorry, I
told
didn't
me
see this one.
yesterday that I'd be
What's
I had-
the actor from 30 Rock again? I'm blanking on his name for some reason.
French Stewart,
No,
John Lithgow.
the black actor from 30 Rock.
Oh, Tracy Morgan.
Tracy Morgan. During one of the running scenes, the CGI Samuel L. looked like fucking Tracy Morgan.
Yeah, it did, didn't it?
Also,
you made me
I
take a
love
nap.
that they kept the Lord Farquaad.
No, I just like the hey, maybe take a nap. Snow White, the fairest of them all. No cap.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man,
And
that's
there's a
just terrible.
revival of Naked Gun.
Yeah, they're doing with Liam Neeson as the main star, and it's supposed to be his son, Leslie Nielsen's son.
Wait, they're making Liam Neeson Leslie Nielsen's son?
Yes, Frank Drebin. He's supposed to be the new. He's supposed to be Frank Drebin, and everybody else is supposed to be like the kids from like Ned, not Ned Beatty, the guy that played the lieutenant or their commanding officer, and then OJ has a kid, and they look at OJ's picture like, nope.
Dude, yeah, you gotta see the trailer.
It's stupid.
I'm definitely going to have to watch the trailer.
I'm going to say it looks promising. It looks promising. I'm still going to hold my. I'm going to wait before I look at it.
Well, what you just said, the whole part where they're praying for their lost fathers,
Mm-hmm.
it really does just kind of screams how Naked Gun common comedy would be done. It looks good.
It looks
Well,
good, but so modern Hollywood does not understand anything.
yeah, no,
We
hey, don't. I'm wary. I still have my hand on my grip. So
What I'm really hoping is that they revive classic spoof movie rules.
no, they won't.
Where I want it to be there's either a gag up front or there's a gag in back. You never have gags in both.
You're right. Like so it's physical comedy in the front or in the back, or in something in the background or the foreground being done.
Yeah, it's either something in the foreground's being done that's funny and the background is serious, or something in the background's funny and the foreground is serious. The example that I bring up so many times is let me quickly double check because there's two movies that I always mix up the name of. And it is. Okay, that's the one that I always confuse. So then it is. Top Secret. I always confuse Top Secret and Spy Hard, their names. I don't confuse the movies.
Spy
But
Hard.
in Top Secret, there's this fantastic scene where the lead actress is talking to a Gestapo agent in a restaurant. And it's this very tense, serious discussion.
Mm-hmm.
But the restaurant had a very strict suit coat policy.
Mm-hmm.
So Val Kilmer gets let off because he doesn't have a suit coat when they first enter the restaurant. And in the background, as this very tense discussion of how it seems like the Gestapo knows who she is and what she's doing, just Val Kilmer's in the background with them changing what he's wearing every time that it pans back over to the Gestapo agent.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just seeing over his shoulder. And it's just more ridiculous each time that he's shown. And then there's the climactic end of the movie fight where they start on a train, they fall off the train, they fall into the lake, and they're sinking as they're still fighting and struggling to win, and then they land at the bottom of the lake on top of a card table. And there's this, oh, that's kind of strange. They continue fighting. Val Kilmer picks up the other guy, slams him into a bar top, slides him down past a bartender behind the fucking bar just cleaning a glass.
Mm.
And it's this entire underwater saloon that they're fighting
Oh yeah, I know
through.
what you're talking about, and I remember that. Yes,
Yep.
it's stupid.
It is amazing. And it's that perfect, just comedic beats the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Where nothing is ever cluttered throughout the entire movie. It's just perfect timing. Every gag, and every gag is given that room to breathe so that it's actually funny. Because too many modern comedy movies don't give their jokes time to breathe.
Yes. They don't let them fester and marinate in its own juices.
Yeah, they just go gag, 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 and then it's just a sprint. And by the time that you get through to the moment where there isn't a gag, it feels like you didn't have time to actually laugh at anything.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a fucking shame because it deserves to have. If a joke should be in the movie, it deserves to have its time to breathe.
Honestly, this is something that um, that modern Hollywood or modern show running don't do. They don't let a scene. Um, so the greatest example I can ever give is that if you ever seen The Witcher, when Roach dies, his
Mm-hmm.
horse, they wanted him to make a joke about this serious scene, and then they cut the scene too early, where you don't he doesn't get a chance to all right, Roach dies. He says, he looks sad, and then they cut the scene,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's off doing something else instead of letting like this big dramatic moment hold for a while. Like maybe giving him like he's petting the horse for a little bit to symbolize like his connection to it, to let the scene the seriousness of the scene go. 5 more seconds of that, maybe not a whole fucking minute, but like at least 3, 4, 5 more seconds, so people can get the feeling, holy shit, his horse is gone, and then off to the new scene. But no, they immediately cut to the new scene.
Mm-hmm.
So the tension, the weight of the scene doesn't get a chance to play out.
Yeah, you need to give that time to breathe so that people can actually enjoy the
Process.
joke, enjoy the serious moment, enjoy whatever the fuck it is. You need that beat where you actually get to enjoy it.
No, Andrew, we're not talking about people under the stairs. We're talking about The Witcher. It's The Witcher. Ow. But again, whew, it's been almost an hour and a half. You've been going at it for a hot minute.
Yeah. And yeah, it used to be that was just the norm. You would give moments that chance to breathe. And it made those moments better because it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't just this mad dash. It wasn't just this, you don't have time to process that someone just fucking died or that joke was just said. You had that moment. You got to enjoy it. You got to feel the effect of it. You got to laugh. You got to actually have the impact. But so fucking often now, it's everyone seems to just be rushing
Yeah.
everything.
Again, 7 seconds. That's all you need.
Yep. Like, there's. So, everyone knows that the Neverending Story 1 was the best of the Neverending Story series. But I think it was Neverending Story 2, but it might have been 3, had the scene that fucked with me the most, I think. Because it was this just very slow scene of the rock monster
Rock bottom, yeah.
just completely fucking depressed, where it was everything was getting consumed by the nothing.
Oh no, that's the third one.
That is 3? Okay. Yeah, everything was being consumed by the nothing, and it's just him sitting there kind of splayed out, looking at his hands, and talking about how these look like such strong, big hands.
You were definitely high.
Like they can hold so much. But they couldn't hold anything. I couldn't save any of them. No matter how hard I held, each of them was stripped away. And it was just fucking depressing.
Oh, he was talking about how his family got swallowed by the nothing.
Yeah, how his entire family was pulled away from him by the nothing. And it's just him sitting there and very ponderously explaining that, but not explaining it just as like, yeah, my family was ripped away into the nothing. It is him going through fucking survivor's guilt and doubting everything that he knew about himself.
I think the most scene. I've never read the book, but from what people tell me, the book's Artak's death in the book is so much fucking worse than it is in the goddamn movie. Because the horse can talk. From what I hear, the horse can talk, in the book, and in the book, when he's going through the swamp, like, I don't want it. I'm just fucking tired. I don't want to do this. And just letting himself fucking die while Trevor's trying to save him. It's like, no, I don't want it. I'm tired. I'm tired of this shit. It's all over, man. Just let me go. And he's just sitting there talking to him about it doesn't matter in the end. We're all fucked. You're fucked. This quest is fucked. I don't know why we even took this fucking quest, kid. Again, as he's seeking into this fucking bog, essentially.
Yep.
Like,
okay.
That shit's fucked up.
I just pulled it up, and it is actually from Neverending Story, the first one.
Oh,
I thought it was from...
Yeah, because the nothing is swallowed in the first, the second, the third one. Because the darkness or whatever the fuck they were called, Jack Black's gang was attacking, it was consuming the world. All right, my bad.
Yeah, I thought it was one of the later ones. But I just...
Because the nothing is the big enemy. And that's why, that's why fucking the horses all fuck. Like, man, we're all fucking doomed. The world's gone. Just let me die. Mm-hmm. It's fucked up. That's one fucked up kids movie.
Yeah. And like I said, Hand's soliloquy, because that's what that fucking is. It is the rock biter having a fucking soliloquy about losing everyone, despite all of his strength, despite how hard he tried to save them, just losing everything.
Have you ever played Legend of Mana?
Yes.
It was clear that the creators of Legend of Mana was a fan of the Neverending Story because the Rockbiter gets a second chance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they literally make him a sage.
Nice.
Like, so the character itself is literally a giant mountain with a fucking face, and it looks just like. Let me see if I can pull it up. The Rockbiter, Legend of Mana, sages.
And I like how the rockbiter has another name, just it's fucking impossible to say.
Yeah.
Pyorn Karach Zark? The fuck?
No, it's the Lone Hallway. I know that. Where's the characters at? But yeah, it is insane, and it is amazing that they did that tribute to him, or not tribute, but they made that character. Man, the one time I want to fucking find a picture, and because they're fucking sages.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like one of the first ones you meet, because you have to go through the highway with Nico. Hold on. Nope. Maybe I'll just type in Sage.
But yeah, just that scene wouldn't have worked if it wasn't given the breathing room that you needed for that, and if it was done at a faster pace. The rock biter scene wouldn't have fucking worked.
No, it wouldn't.
You needed it to be that ponderous, painful, just the dude absolutely going through it, doubting everything that he knew about himself, because he always thought of himself as strong. He always thought of himself as able to protect others. And then all of his friends were peeled away from him, one by one, despite everything that he did, despite how hard he tried to keep them safe. They were just stripped away. That is fucking heartbreaking.
All right, it's right there. It's not the best image, but you can clearly see that it's essentially the Rockbiter.
Yep, you can see the face.
Yeah, like sorry, I didn't mean to do that one. I'll put it back up really quickly. See if I can find a better picture. But you can clearly see that it is the Rockbiter. Now that I remember, now that I know his name, Guinus.
But yeah, you need to give those moments breathing room. You need to give jokes breathing room. You need to give serious moments breathing room. You need action scenes to have breathing room. This is where action movies are going wrong as well.
Even in comedies, you need serious moments in comedies to juxtaposition
To
to
juxtapose.
yeah, the seriousness of a situation. Like uh I'll take fucking Ace Ventura.
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't have like the serious moments in Ace Ventura, it wouldn't be as fucking funny.
Yep. And this
And this
is
is with
the
his eyes
reason.
open.
Okay. Yep.
Like that is the fucking rock biter.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah. But
Okay.
again, fan of it.
You need those moments to breathe. You need those moments to actually let it have the impact that it's supposed to fucking have. And this is something that even action movies are fucking up now. Because rather than having this ebb and flow of action, a lot of action movies are starting to do this mad dash bullshit. And you can do the mad dash at the end, after you've earned the mad dash.
Yeah, like one at a time. Mad Dash had, take that shit out. And then like
Yep.
the climax is the Mad Dash.
Yeah, after you've built up, after you have the stakes, then you can get this
And
mad
that's
dash. And then immediately after the mad dash, you have to have this come down afterwards in order to make it have the effect that you want it to have. Which is one of the things that, well, Die Hard did so fucking well. Because Die Hard had these moments of intense action, and then it was a lot of him crawling through shit and talking to Al and dealing with what just fucking happened. And then there'd be another mad dash. And then it would be again this calming down, picking glass out of his feet, talking to himself, talking to Al, bitching and moaning about everything that's going on. You'd see what's happening outside, which was much calmer than what was happening inside. You'd get these moments of his wife talking to the other hostages.
Yeah.
You had this ebb and flow that made it so it actually fucking worked. Whereas if you took out all those in between moments, then it just becomes this, what the fuck is going on? Why would I care about any of this shit? And that's where a lot of action movies are going wrong. And the Raid did have a lot of really good mad dash segments. The Raid also had some calm moments throughout.
Yeah. And the cool thing about the Raid, another cool thing about fucking uh um Die Hard, again, it's set in a single building. Like it's
Yep.
one central location. So everything had to be contained within this like maybe one square block with this massive fucking tower. Or in the Raid, the entire fucking building. The only time you see the outside is at the very beginning of the movie. And the only time you see it again is at the very end.
Mm-hmm.
So you have like the stakes have already been set. They're trapped. You're trapped in this building, and that's another thing I don't think Hollywood understand stakes. Like they
Mm-hmm.
don't do stakes anymore. You know, it's like when you kill off a character in the MCU, and like 20 fucking minutes later they come back. So nothing fucking even matters anymore.
Yeah.
Like no one fucking stays dead. Like if some characters actually everybody but the villain, the heroes don't stay dead. Villains are always don't stay dead, but heroes never stay dead. They're always fucking back next minute.
Yeah. And
What the fucking scary part?
it ruins everything about it when you
Yes.
don't have stakes, when you don't have that tension, when you just have, well, this is what's happening on screen right now. Enjoy what's happening on screen.
Yeah.
You need the breathing room. You need the stakes. You need the things that remind you of what the fuck's happening. And Old Boy is another really good example of an action movie that had these absolutely frantic fights that then also had these drawn out moments in between the fights where it was the holy shit, that just fucking happened moment. The hallway fight is the one that everyone talks about because it's fucking amazing.
Are you talking about for the raid?
Talking about Old Boy.
Old Boy. I never seen Old Boy.
Old Boy is the hallway fight. So, if you've ever seen the fight where there's the Korean version, which is the superior, and then there's the Western version. Both of them have the same scene, but the Korean version does it a little bit better. If you've ever seen a fight scene where it is a back and forth in a hallway, where it's just this one guy who enters the hallway with a fucking hammer, and then there's a horde of people that just swarm him, and it's this back and fight where he's getting slashed to shit, he's back on the attack, then he's having to fight one way for a little bit and then turn around to fight everyone who is coming from behind him. And it's all one continuous shot where it's just the camera panning back and forth as the fight moves. That's the hallway fight. Oh yeah, Old Boy has a ridiculously messed up story. Its story is beyond fucked. But the timing and the fights and everything about it was just done perfectly. Which is why it worked. And yeah, if you've never seen Old Boy, look up Old Boy. Like I said, there's a Western version of it, which isn't bad, but it isn't the same.
As good. It isn't as good. I get it.
Yeah, it isn't as good. It doesn't quite hit as hard. But
all right, hold on, Angela. I have Friday the 13th now. I've downloaded it, so we are good.
But Old Boy, like I said, just good God, that's an amazing fucking movie.
Crap, saying it has been 2 hours, and I do have to get to it.
Oh yeah. So, parting words.
Talking about Sanguine devour him, don't let Sanguine devour you.
You have no choice in the matter if I hunger.
Well, Sanguine, you've been doing a challenge. You can't eat people. That's not in your challenge money.
People are free. Yes, I can.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to get a ruling on that from the judges.
The rule is I can't buy anything. If you happen to show up and offer yourself as part of my sustenance, then that is free.
Nope, I'm not offering you. Again, if you're passionate about Sanguine devour him, don't let Sanguine devour you.
And like I said, you don't have the choice if I hunger. If you show up and I'm sufficiently hungry, you have just offered yourself as sustenance.
I will fight tooth and nail for my survivor sanguine.
That doesn't matter.
I will not go quietly.
That changes nothing.
I will not go quietly into that good night, sir.
That changes nothing. It just means I work up a bit more of an appetite.
You will not devour me, sir. You will not devour me. I will not be consumed by sanguine. I will fight. I will fight you on the beaches. I'll fight you in the trenches. I'll fight you in the air. God damn it. Really?
So, Adam, parting words?
I think Adam's asleep.
Are you in fact asleep, Adam? Sounds like he might be. So, because I brought it up, and it is just such a fucking good bit, let me pull it up and read the full thing of it. Rock. Spider hands. Where's the full quote? Unless I can't find the full quote, then I'll have to go for something else. Fuck it. They don't have the full quote. God damn it. I was hoping to do the full rock biter because it is just such a fucking good moment. But instead of the rock biter, I will leave off with, let's see, what would be a good one today? The most important step of any man's life is always the next step. We'll leave off with that. And with that, have a good night, all. The zoo is closed.
Good night, everybody.
And now I click this, and it takes a couple seconds, so suck it!